I was around basketball a lot growing up because my mom and my dad were both players, and my dad was a basketball coach for so many years, and so it was something that I was always around. I grew up in the gym. I played tons of different sports, played volleyball, hockey, soccer, but basketball was the sport that I could play nonstop, and I never got tired of it, so it just became the sport that I loved. Yeah, that experience in Monroe was a great one. I remember billeting with a family. They treated us really well, and we ate some good Italian food, and then we played really well in the tournament. We played against the Lithuanian team, the Serbian team, the French team. There's a lot of good players, and it was my first international experience, and so just nothing but great memories. I remember the game. I didn't know Gigi was playing in it, but I remember that I got some minutes near the end of the game, and at that time Bargnani was a Raptors player, and so I grew up watching the Raptors, and I remember my first shot was a 3 in transition right into his face, and so I don't even remember if I made or missed it. It didn't matter. Just being on the court was a cool experience at that age. I think I was 15 at the time, so it was just a great experience for me at a young age. Yeah, I stayed home in Canada because a lot of times guys go to the States and it's good situations, and sometimes it's bad, and there's just so many unknowns. And so in Canada, I knew what I was going to get. I got in touch with a great strength trainer, Matt Nickel, in Toronto, and had all the resources I needed, and I felt like it was my best way to get myself prepared for college, and just focus on myself, my strength and conditioning, my skills, and just prep myself for college. Yeah, me and Naz grew up together. I remember playing against him a lot, and so we played against each other, played with each other a little bit, and when we had the opportunity to come here together, we were both really excited. We talk about it all the time still to this day, just how fortunate we are to play together, and how it's crazy how the career paths really match and align. So I'm excited to play with him, and I know he's the same way. Definitely, I think about the games we lost in March Madness all the time, especially that Duke one my senior year in the Elite Eight. But at the end of the day, March Madness is difficult because only one team finishes the year on a high note, and so there's 67 other teams that are disappointed at the end of the day. So just being fortunate enough to play in that tournament, experience so many memories, and my last year finally getting to the Elite Eight was a great accomplishment and experience for me. But obviously, I always dreamt about winning a national championship, so couldn't quite do that. But now it's our turn this year to try and get a championship, which I'm looking forward to. Yeah, that was really special, being ranked #1, the first time in Gonzaga history, and I think everyone in the whole community, everyone in Zag Nation was excited about it, and we had a great team. We had a lot of different guys that could do different things, and our chemistry was great, and so it allowed us to beat a lot of teams and play really well that season, and so that was a great memory for sure. Honestly, not being drafted, my confidence was high. I think more than ever I was motivated. I think I went into that first year in Gran Canaria and really wanted to prove something, being a professional. Also, I was just excited and blessed that I finally had the opportunity to play basketball for a living. Being a professional is something I've always dreamt about, and I wanted to really try and take my game to the next level. And so for me, every year since becoming a pro, that's all I could think about was trying to be the best I could be and try and make it to the NBA. And that's what that first year in Gran Canaria definitely showed me. It gave me a chance to do that. That year was definitely great for me. I was fortunate to play for a great coach like Aito, who taught me many things and gave me a great opportunity to play at a high level. I didn't know it at the time, but the competition in Gran Canaria against Euro Cup teams and in Spain was very high, which being a first-year professional out of college, I was fortunate to be able to do that. And so I'm just glad I had that experience. It was great for me. I had a good time spending time on the island, learning some Spanish, eating good food, great weather. I couldn't complain. It was great for my first season. Yeah, that year in Kaunas was special. We had a good group of guys again. Very talented guys that played their role really well, and I think during the whole season we went into every game thinking that we could win, and people outside our locker room might have been surprised, but I think when we made the Final Four we weren't really stunned. We felt like we belonged, and unfortunately we lost in the semifinals and couldn't make it to the championship, but definitely a good season. We had some great wins and some good accomplishments, so that was exciting for me because it was my second year EuroLeague and just kind of getting over the hump and being able to showcase a lot. I don't know, we'll have to see what the Brandon Davies and Kevin Pangos special has, but I'm excited to play with him. Me and Brandon have a great connection. I know him really well. And being able to play with him again, he does so many great things, whether it's defensive end, offensively, he's just so talented. And so for me, it makes my job easy playing with a guy like that. So I'm excited to play with him again. Yeah, my experience in Barcelona was tough for me, mentally and physically, because I wasn't really healthy for the majority of it. Even when I played, I had some injuries that were nagging me, and that just killed my confidence a lot. It was tough to play with those physical issues that you're not able to do what you normally can, and so it was tough. I still enjoyed my experience. I learned a lot, played with a great group of guys there, and I think it just allowed me to learn more about myself and grow as a person and player going forward. And so as much as it was a disappointment at the time, I tried to just take as much as I could from that and learn from the experience. I don't know. I don't know if it was the best version of myself in St. Petersburg. I definitely enjoyed my time there and thought I played pretty well in certain stretches of the season. But the guys there really bought into the philosophy of coach, and we really came together to have a special season. And so I don't know if it was the best one yet. I think each one I've had different opportunities and showcased different things throughout my career, but St. Petersburg was one that I enjoyed for sure. Billy, I didn't know beforehand, but got to know him really well in St. Petersburg, and obviously he's fun to play with because he can really shoot the ball, and got to know him really well off the floor as well because our families, get along really well, and our kids are very similar age, and I guess I get along with him as well, all right. So he's a good dude, and I'm enjoying to play with him this year as well. No, the decision to go to the NBA was probably the best decision I made in my life. People from the outside might not see it that way, but it was something that I've dreamt of as a kid, and for me, it answered a lot of questions. It was being able to play at the highest level, and something that I've always dreamt of doing, and so unfortunately, I didn't showcase and play as much as I would have liked to, but that doesn't take away from the experience I had. The Cavs were a great organization, the people were great, and so going there, it was definitely the best decision I've ever made, and I learned a lot from it, and I don't regret it one bit. I've heard great things about Milan. Great organization, great city, and I think the people that they brought in, the other players they've signed, just shows what they're trying to do as an organization. And I think the success they've had in the last couple of years definitely shows they're heading in the right direction, and that we've got something to do this year. So I was excited to come here and to play with a great group of guys, play for coach, who I have had some great conversations with about the expectation of the team. And so we'll see what we're able to do this year. I think we're going to put our best effort on the court and just let the rest take care of itself. I don't really think of it as filling anybody's shoes. Chacho is Chacho. He's a legendary player, one of a kind. And so for me, I'm just trying to bring, Kevin Pangos, what I can bring to the table. It's going to be different than Chacho. There's some similarities possibly as well, but I can't try to be somebody else. I'm just going to try and be myself and bring my best to the team and hope that that's enough, and that we can really take it to a new level and new heights of this organization.